So when you hear that sound, you know that means it's time to let's talk about it. I'm kind of late to the party with this one, but I wanted to jump on it and have my honest opinion about it, because once I actually read into it and did a backdrop on it, I found out it was more to it. And it has a lot to do with these last and evil days, with things being real demonic, and how the enemy is using whatever he can to stop people or to get at men and women of God. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this clip. And when I show you this clip, you'll get a better understanding. This is Pastor Glenn Germany.
We're in a whole different kingdom than God. And God had chose. Jesus. Jesus. Whoa.
We at the time that everything happened, service would have really been over. But I thank God that we had extended praise and worship today, because my daughter was here and another young lady was here, and they're singers, and we just wanted to praise. And so we extended praise and worship. But while we were praising and worship, a guy came in, and and it's not uncommon for people to come in, hear the music, and go back out. A guy came in, he stood in the back of the church for a second, and then I'm up here singing praise and worship, and he walks out. And then he comes back in again and he walk out again. But now this time it's time for the message. And my brother calls me up, because he leads the service, and he calls me up and time for me to present the message. Now, when I go up to start presenting the message, the guy was sitting in the back, and he moved from the back and he moved to the front seat over here in the corner. And when he moved in the corner, he got up when I started to speak the message, and he smiled at me. And he came right here where I'm sitting at. And that's where he just pulled the gun out. And I didn't, it wasn't no time to react. It was like, this is not happening, and I just tried to get out of the way of him shooting, because he pointed it right at me. And I just see it, I'm looking right down the barrel of a gun. I had time to speak with him twice. I spoke with him sitting when I was holding down for like 15 minutes to 20 minutes waiting for the police to get here. And then when he was in the police car, I went out and talked to him for another 10 minutes. And I asked him, what would make you want to do this? What would make you, what happened? He said, nothing. He apologized to me. And the guy told me that, he heard voices. Voices was in his mind. And when he heard the voices, he said that the voice told him, he said he heard spirits, and he said that the voices were in his head, and it said, go shoot the pastor.
Is exactly 100% what I'm talking about, and what I mean when I talk about the last and evil days. And also when you see that people are really becoming martyrs, really going hard for the gospel, but there's always someone after them, and it's not you putting a face on that person, but you have to understand that there's a spirit in work. There's demonic activity. And some people don't even believe in this stuff, think it's fairy tale, but you have to understand that when you are doing the work and the enemy knows his time is short, he's going to do whatever he can do to get at you, whatever he can do to stop you. Now, this person came out of nowhere and actually went and pulled his gun out and, was trying to kill this pastor because he heard these voices in his head. So that's why we as men and women of God, especially in the different roles in clergy, and also in the roles of authority in ministry, we have to be prayed up even the more, because there's people that's always looking at us as in a way of, I don't like them. I don't like what they said. I don't like how they do this. Or I feel that God is doing more for them than me. Or even if it's not that thing, they come in and just spill to themselves, you know what? Judge. And in this judgmental stage, the enemy, that opens up a sense that any of the gateways for the enemy to just come in and just say something, and then that person reacts on it. So if y'all can sound off in the comments, I know this has happened probably, I think it was earlier this month, about the first week of May, but I really want us to have a dialogue about this and get a better understanding of what's going on in the body of Christ, and it's going to actually add on to what I'm talking about tonight. So let's go right here for a sec, and let's go on this section while we're on it. Let's go to this next phase, we're going to continue to pray for Pastor, because the thing about that is, we know and understand there is a spirit at work right now, prevalent and present, and is really trying to stop the body of Christ.